What's up, everyone? Thought I would give a little tour of the garden this year because I haven't posted anything about it. So I'm in the driveway right now. Put that fence up last year to keep the deer out. So far, so good. Now we get some flowers up against the house. Pretty good mix. The different seasons we try to. And through the gate I get this 3-section box just because at the time that was the lumber I had left over. So I was trying to make a 2-section compost bin because at the time I was doing 2 composts at a time, letting one sit and age while the other one I was still actively adding to and stirring. Anyways, lumber made it. Those would have been 2 very large boxes, so I turned it into 3. The idea to plant one. This year we did. So let's see. This was compost. Oh, this stuff will be used very soon. It's pretty dry, but pretty nice. This tomato plant, look at that. Now that naturally grew in the compost, and about 90% of what we have in this whole area came out of the compost. I'm still mastering the art of starting seedlings inside in the spring, and this year when I brought everything out, I did my best and none of it really did great. Luckily I had been neglecting turning the compost and said, hey, those look great. So peppers, tomatoes, we were hoping to get some cucumbers because there was a bunch of squash looking things. They ended up all being squashes and pumpkins, different types of stuff like that. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But yeah, that's what's going on here. This is a newer compost. Like a month ago, I asked my neighbor who had chickens a couple years ago. I said, hey, did you ever clean out that coop? I'll come take the manure. Win-win. You got a clean chicken coop and I got some manure. So he said yes. Anyways, I spread that around, added it here, and a newer bed I'm working on, and a few places. This was where we grew potatoes this year. So also it's pretty dry. I should probably add some water here. But this was a mix of dirt. Got some compost in there, topsoil, stuff from the store, a whole mix of stuff. But yeah, we grew like 6.5 pounds of potatoes in there, and we'll definitely do better next year. Yes, now I need you guys to tell me, is this a is that more of a Misfits skull or is that more of a Venture Brothers skull? Because I found that rock this spring when I was digging. I thought it looked like a skull, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And then yeah, I think it's either Misfits or Venture Brothers. I'm going Venture Brothers. You guys tell me. Venture Brothers skull, right? Just needs an eye, some teeth. All right. Let's see. This was our first raised bed that we put in. We've been here 3 years. Had to start fresh. Lived in a different place previously and had some beds there, but yeah, started fresh here. So let's see. These sunflowers just get put in the ground by the chipmunks. They steal the seeds from that the birds drop off the feeders, and as you can see, one's dead. That was last year's. Other one. Chipmunk placed it, but love it the way it embraces its buddy from the previous year. So this year, this bed, we did tomatoes. Well, actually, it started out as garlic, right? So there was garlic in there from last season. In this area right in front of me, where currently there's carrots and beets and green onion. So there's some garlic in there too, marked with sticks. Got tomato. Then you look down here, these carrots. Oh, I think Nicole was in here looking. Not bad, right? It's like bigger than my thumb. So it's funny because carrots are the best. It's like Christmas. You're opening up gifts, don't even know what you got. Sometimes they look awesome. You check the tops and you're like, oh man, that's nice and big. And you pull it up and it's like 2 inches long. But yeah, I've been doing this companion gardening for years. We have this combo. I love it. Cannot recommend it enough. don't necessarily need, like right here we got a section, okay, just carrots. Well, that was just because I had carrots that were too close to each other. These were all transplants, right? Most people just put a bunch of seeds in and then you kill the ones that are really close to each other to thin them out. I felt bad doing that, and I had empty space, so I took the seedlings and separated them, and couldn't believe it, but you know, we'll see what we got. I'm hopeful some of these are going to be pretty good. Oh man, the top of that looks good. But I didn't know if a root vegetable could be transplanted and manhandled like that and still grow after. They're doing great. But yeah, you know, so you don't necessarily need your own space for carrots. You just grow them under something. And I have this awesome chart about companion gardening. Shows what plants like to grow next to each other, what ones don't, you know, based on previous experiments. So you're not starting from scratch. Certain things do not like to grow near each other, but so doing awesome. Our tomatoes will finish off. They'll be done. The carrots will still be growing if we want them to. Let them keep going. They can handle the colder weather. No wasted space. You're protecting your soil a little bit. It's just win-win-win. I was gonna say, these beds are like huge, right? Most people do 4x8s for a reason. Well, I had limited amounts of lumber, so I made them. These are like 8x10 because that's what the wood was. And I put stepping stones down through the middle. And of course, every year it's super chaotic, so can't really walk through there anymore, but the intent was there, and you know what? We figure it out. We reach in there and get what we need. So beets, green onions. Those green onions are awesome. They are, I always forget the terms. I get them confused. I think perennial, they come back every year. This green onion. And another dead sunflower from last year. But yeah, let's check out a beet. Not bad. Not as good as the one I pulled this spring. But oh, I better speed up. This is taking forever. 7 minutes in. Alright. These were new trellises. These were not trees that I delimbed. These were transplanted there. It's a cool black locust that I liked. I was going to potentially use it for some artwork I do sometimes, statue type stuff. That's an apple. But yeah, put them in the ground here, put a donut shaped garden around it, ran the strings up, and it's done pretty good. Got pole beans, peas, and then around the base of it there's also, bush beans, carrots, beets. All these are squash and pumpkins plants. Like I said, all from the compost, not the beets and the carrots, or I guess the beans for that matter, but all the squashes and the tomatoes and peppers were from compost. So pretty good. Soil kind of sucked, you know, we did it last minute this spring, but look at all this stuff we've grown. Oh, there's a pumpkin in here. That's like bowling, like small candlepin style bowling ball size. That one's softball size, that pumpkin. I mean, that's a bush bean. Lots of those in there. Stuff gets hidden. It's a mess. It's a nightmare. But it's fun. It's like Easter, looking around, finding stuff. This is an awesome green pumpkin. I don't know, Facebook land, you tell me what these are, or YouTube land. That a white pumpkin? Some kind of squash? We don't know. Something out of the compost. I can see some of the beets in here. Either way, I'll get some greens, even if the root's not very good. Peas. Here's the other one. Got a ton of pole beans up top. Let's see. Pumpkin. Squash. Well, what's funny is some of these squashes were growing vertically up these, which I think would be great for cucumbers, but man, I did not engineer those to hold the weight of a pumpkin or a squash, so they kind of slid down the string, but no problem. Boy, we're learning all the time too. This is such an experiment. Some of you are probably looking at this and going, these guys don't know what they're doing. That's true. It's fun though. Tomatoes, what a cluster, right? I always say I'll space them out more, then this next year I do the same thing. I'm looking at them in the garden going, I could put some more in there, end up putting so many in they grow like this. That's all right. You know what? We get what we're looking for. Look at those tomatoes. These ones haven't turned yet, but then let's see what we do for companions here. There was some herbs. I don't know what that is. I'm not the expert on the herbs. It's parsley. I don't know what that is. Thyme or something. It's good, whatever it is. Strawberries growing in there. Those were just, you know, did on their own, but we end up eating strawberries out of it. It's awesome, and it's covering the soil, keeping the soil healthy and everything. Here's some mint, I think, some sort of mint, oregano, thyme. That's kind of gone by, but we had some basil that was awesome too, and that went by. So this one, yeah, working on filling it up. Don't want to buy soil. Did a combination here of some till and then some trying out some lasagna gardening. So yeah, look that up. Other raised bed. Another mess. Tons of stuff, right? Tomatoes. There's tomatoes here. Broccoli, that's like the only thing I spent money on, besides the seeds that I bought years ago in bulk. Broccoli I got from Lloyd's. Done pretty awesome though. I've already eaten a ton, and I still got a bunch more secondary little heads, and some of them I'm still getting the primary crop on. These ones were the first, but you can see like this one I cut it a while ago, but I'm still getting more florets growing out of it. Yeah, you look under there though, and I got more beets, carrots. Maybe too tight, but I know there's a tipping point where you can grow things so close you're not getting, then they're not productive, right? But if you do it right, you can maximize space. And oh, a bunch of peppers in here. These were jalapenos on this side of the stepping stones. I started from seed, and those did all right. They actually survived. These, I think, are sweet peppers and stuff from the compost, but hard to tell. We haven't got a lot of fruit on them, so something with the soils maybe. We're figuring it out why they something killed this one. That sucks. Yeah, no, there's the broccoli. Nice. Not bad. Then these archways. Yeah. Well, let's see. I did this fence to keep the deer out. Bought a roll at Tractor Supply. These archways, just said screw it and made them earlier this spring, but that is not like cattle panel. They are not structurally sound. So currently got a spaghetti squash and a pumpkin growing up here that are kind of shaping that down. But you know what? It's doing all right. I'm gonna cut that squash soon anyways. I can put a post in there and hold that up. So this wall, squash and pumpkin leaves. I'm gonna come around to the other side. So yeah, we got a ton of peppers, tomatoes, broccoli. Maybe eat some beets or at least some greens and stuff out of there. Let's see if you know where to look. There's some pretty crazy pumpkins in here. There's a green one there. There's a squash. Best pumpkin, maybe best pumpkin. That one's pretty insane. The fact that it's hanging like 2 feet off the ground. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's bigger than my head. Please leave some comments about how big my head is. All right. Again, I don't know how much that weighs. I should have a hammock there holding it up. What I did for that other one, I was just pointing at, Nicole had some unused plant hangers. Or a unused plant hanger that I used to wrap around it. So again, my misshapen, half-assed archways here. I might redo it with cattle panel. We'll see. Something growing here. We'll find out what it is. Zucchini, a pumpkin. There's my spaghetti squash. Again, I should probably pick that. That's pretty decent. There's the pumpkin, man. That's a pretty good one. Pretty neat that it's hanging, so I get that twine plant hanger holding it up. Take some of the pressure off so the stem just doesn't break and the thing crashes down. Let's see, I got another one out here. Oh, there's a, let's see, spaghetti squash. Look at that. Oh, that thing's nice. That's gonna be a big pumpkin too. All right, this pretty much concludes our tour. We'll switch it up next year. I'm gonna do some cherry tomatoes and have them growing up these vines. Also gonna do some grape vines that my parents have. And a buddy in Southern Maine's got a bunch of grapevines on his property and among some other stuff. So we're always adding, changing. Maybe I was thinking of doing some hops, because hops is cool. Not that I actually brew or anything, but share it with someone, trade with someone. Front porch, that's always a nice place to hang out, because up there. Hummingbirds are about done this year. Seems like they're probably heading out soon, but some teddy there is pretty cool. I tell you what, those hummingbirds, and I guess the birds in general, they love this, our new garden setup though, with everything. All right. Lots more plans. But yeah, that's what we got this year. All right, I'd love to see your gardens or talk about it. It's just fun stuff. I love this stuff. I've gotten really into it the past 6 months. I've been into it for a while, for years, but trying to take it to the next level, and it's fun. All right, thanks guys.